For those with good taste.
But let's get on to it. Let's get on to the reviews for the week. I won't bore you any longer with my wrestling diatribes or my chair conundrums. Let's get on to the real stuff, the real main events. I did say earlier I was going to be staring at my phone. I have a little timer up here, but I also am going to be honest with you guys. I have notes. I don't normally do this, but because I was going to be talking for so long by myself, I thought it was like kind of necessary to keep myself a little on track because, like I said earlier, Matt usually reins it in for me a little bit. But let's talk about Mighty Ducks. I never make this much eye contact either, so I hope you guys are appreciating this. This is like I'm really fucking in there right now. So Mighty Ducks. I've been super high on this show for the past few weeks. I still am super high on it. This would maybe be my favorite show on TV right now, as crazy as that sounds. And I don't know if it's the nostalgia getting the best of me or if this show is just genuinely good. But I think from everybody I'm talking to, it seems like everybody's kind of on the same page as me when it comes to this, that not always do reboots, sequels, however you want to kind of look at this being, live up to the hype. But I think this show is finding a way, and maybe it's because there's a lot of stuff we've kind of looked at, I think, over time, and we're like, like that could make a better TV show, or like that'd be really cool if they expand on this in a TV format, or if we saw this get made into a movie, it would be great. And it goes vice versa. And I think we probably had that conversation on here before. But this is another instance where I think it did really work to, instead of just going back to this, because this could have very easily been on Disney's part, just being honest. Like, we all grew up with, or a lot of people my age grew up with, the Disney Channel movie, like Smart House, Luck of the Irish. There's a million more, right? Alley Cat Strike is another one of my favorites. All of those movies, they're all good movies, but they're just good TV movies. They're a little corny. We have low expectations for them. That they could have very easily brought back the Mighty Ducks and just done a corny, straight to DVD, straight to Disney Plus in this instance, just TV show, and maybe not even brought back, Emilio Estevez or any of that. And people would have watched it. They could have done a money grab. And I guarantee you people my age with kids would have 100% watched it, and it would have had some moderate success. But instead they decided to go the other route. And I think it's been the major victory in the series is that they took the route of 10 episodes to really flesh out what they have. And they've clearly, in my mind at least, written over the first 3 episodes, or is it 4 episodes now? I believe it's 3 episodes. They've kind of built a story that I think at least for me, I'm interested in, and I want to kind of see where it's going. In each episode, we've gotten kind of a progression and an answer to some of the questions we've had, and a lot of really cool characters that I've really appreciated that are unique to themselves. So this episode here, I'm titling it Gordon Got His Groove Back, because I think that's what it's got to be called, right? Like, this is another one where we're seeing the rebirth of the Gordon Bombay character, which I kind of hate, but I really appreciate at the same time. Like, I hate it because I just want him to be, Coach Bombay. I want him to be Gordon Bombay, that guy that I watched grow over 3 movies. I want him to be that. But I also understand that for the sake of a TV show, you need to have an arc, and I like that I'm slowly starting to see that rust come off of him. I'm starting to see the guard let down, and I'm really excited to continue to get more of that growth in his character. And obviously for the people who are younger who are watching this, that aren't just a fucking 30-year-old guy like me watching kids shows, you're getting to see a character from its beginning maybe, and you're seeing him be a closed off person, and you're just going to know him as a guy who is cranky at the beginning of the TV show and is happy by the end of it, right? So we start off this episode just much like we've been in the other 2, where they're practicing the team, what are they fucking called? I hate this team name. I'm gonna get into that later. The Don't Bothers. Yeah, don't bother saying the name, right? So the Don't Bothers, they're practicing, and it's another practice, and Gordon Bombay rolls out on the ice on the Zamboni, and he's like, get the fuck out of here, guys. Like, what are you doing? Clowns. You can't even skate. I need to clean the ice. Just get out of here, right? Tells him to kick rocks. Mama Dukes is like, dude, like, come on, loosen up. Like, we're on the ice already, blah, 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 blah. Somewhere in there, Coco Girl is getting broken up with, and I believe his name's Nick. I'm a big fan of Nick. Another thing you're going to find, and I'll just, before I get back to the Mighty Ducks, is without Matt here, I know no names. One of the things that's normally on that screen is IMDb pages. So if I start calling people Carl, that's just because it's a defense mechanism. I don't know their names. Their name's Carl. If I don't know them, they're going to be Carl. So just assume that that's not really their name, but it is kind of their name because they're Carl, but they're not Carl. Cool. We're good. So Nick, the person I did know his name, he's macking on Hot Chocolate Girl who's been dumped by Hot Chocolate Boy, but Hot Chocolate Boy delivers the hot chocolate while Hot Chocolate Girl administers the hot chocolate. You got to watch it. But he's really, this kid is really breaking down walls, right? Doing the damn thing. While at the same time, Cooper, Tucker, main character, Carl, he is also macking on the other girl, the girl from the Ducks, the girl he's been macking on for the first 2 episodes, okay? I'm a big fan of her. She seems like she's a nice enough girl. I support her being with Cooper or Carl, whatever his name is. Carl's going to date female Carl. We're going to figure out if female Carl and boy Carl are a mesh. They work together, right? They go on a date. And I immediately am taken, like this whole third episode feels like it's like shots at me is what I'm kind of finding during the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of it, because it's like I have Nick over here slinging it at Hot Chocolate Girl. And then I'm just going to call him Cooper for this one. I know I said Carl, but we're going to stick with Cooper because it seems right. We have Cooper over here. And Cooper is talking to, you know what? I'm going to do this girl a favor. I'm just going to look up her name because she shouldn't be Carl. She's probably nice enough. You know, be a little better to her, right? I hope you guys don't mind this. I should have just had it ready on my phone. Again, I don't know how Steve does this, man. You just talk and you talk and you talk. Oh, okay, so it wasn't Cooper at all. It was Evan. And the other girl is Sophie. Okay, so Sophie's all about her grades. Mom's all about her grades. Sophie's all about being a duck. Wants to be the best of the best, needs to go to college. So my guy, Evan, somehow tricks her into going on a date with her, gets the whole team to like kind of go along with it. And we end up with this scenario where they're out studying, eating some pizza. Another duck shows up. He's a dick. The thing I didn't like during this, though, is the girl, the waitress. She comes over and she's just like, oh, is this a first date? Well, if it was, bitch, you just ruined it for me, right? Like, why are you over here? Why are you doing this? Like, if it was a first date and I'm 12 years old in this scenario, I might never go on a date again, right? You might have just crushed any spirit I had because in that moment, I couldn't be like, yo, I'm going on, it's on a fucking date. No, I don't have the confidence yet to say it's a date. You should have just left it alone. This girl could possibly have cooties. I don't know anything about her. But nope, this waitress butts in where her fucking nose doesn't belong, right? And here we are. This kid's whole date scenario is ruined. His pizza's not even good anymore. All right, so up next. Somewhere in here, they're practicing, and Gordon has seen the Carl, the kid who showed up in the first episode wearing the Toronto outfit, right? Kind of a cake eater. Yeah, he's a cake eater. He's definitely just a cake eater, right? He is the one who can't skate at all. Gordon sees him fall on the puck, and they're all trying to get it out from underneath him, and they can't, and he can't. So he goes to Ma Dukes, which is Laura Graham, which is Alex. Okay, Alex. I'm getting it now. So he steals Alex's little notebook, thinks up a play. Light bulbs going off. Gordon Bombay jots down a play. Doesn't want anybody to know, though, because he's still an ice queen. That heart, it's an ice box. Omarion said it best. There is an ice box where his heart used to be, and he's just trying to let it thaw out. And it's getting there, but it's not quite there yet. So in moments when nobody's looking at him, he's willing to kind of break out of the shell he's in a little bit. But when the moments that the spotlight's really on him, he can't really let that guard down. He can't let him in just quite yet, right? So we move on to the next game that the boys have. I actually missed a little part. They go out to dinner. They do the homework, all that stuff. The next day, the girl gets a B, and she's like, "Bro, you fucked me. My parents are pissed. I'm fucking pissed. You're a loser. I have a B. B's are stupid. They have circles and lines, and she just fucking hates the B's. I don't blame her. B's not a good fucking letter. I always personally strived for C's. So she's not having it. Not going to join the Don't Bother. She's going to not bother joining the Don't Bother. So no more of that, right? We're into the game now. Quite simply, it's just a normal game. These kids are really fucking bad. The kid that annoys me the most, honestly, and the one person I thought I liked but I don't like anymore is the goalie. Not a huge fan of him because the first episode they show this goalie just catching stuff, nothing's getting by him. In this episode, the kid couldn't even fall down. All right. Some of the charm about Goldberg was the kid could take a fucking bump. The kid was bumping his ass off, right? He was sliding to and fro. He was getting dangled on every chance they came up the ice on him, and he was trying his best. They all went in, but he was trying his damnedest to stop him, right? This kid is not trying at all. I'm not even like, because remember, like Goldberg was afraid of the shots, right, coming at him. Speaking of which, I'm going to get back to this. I remember this happening because one of the things I watched today, they did a 30 for 30 on the Game Changers, by the way. It was about the Flying V. I'll put it in the description down below. So if you guys want to check it out, you can. It's like 8 minutes long. It's pretty fucking good, though. They like have actual ESPN people. It's way too serious for itself, but I like it all at the same time because it's stupid. They have like the old Ducks back to talk about the Flying V and talk about the games, but they're talking about it as if it's real. Check it out. But in that, they show clips of how Gordon Bombay made the Ducks so good. And I remember it reminded me of when they strapped up the arms of Goldberg on both sides. And it was like, you need to get hit by the fucking puck. Stop running away from him, right? This kid's not even afraid of him. He just can't be fucking bothered to put the effort out. And I'm not about it, man. As a person who spent most of his life overweight, I actually prided myself on being a good goalie when it came to like floor hockey and stuff. I get that like ice hockey is a little bit different. The degree of difficulty may be a little higher, but that was one of the things I really prided myself. I wasn't going to run up and down the whole court or the floor or whatever it was, right? I wasn't going to do that. I didn't have the stamina. But you put me in a net, you put some pads on me. Oh, I was a steel fucking trap, dude. There was nothing getting by me, right? I'll strap him up now. I don't think you could score on me. This kid's trash. Anywho, at this point, they're losing literally 17-0. Getting stomped on. Not even a chance. The over-under on this game probably was like 7. They flew past it. The spread might have been -16. These kids are bad. But finally, she's scrolling through the book of plays that she has that she's found on the internet, Alex's, and she finds this play that she didn't write. And she's like, what is this? She ends up calling a timeout, throws the timeout signal, and calls him in. And she ends up running this play, and the play is Cake Eater falls on the puck or fake falls on the puck while the goalie, for the first time the whole fucking game, bends over and grabs the puck. And then all of a sudden Cooper or Evan, I got it, Evan, goalie drops it on the other side. It was kind of like is it the Statue of Liberty play in football? I think it's the Statue of Liberty, or it's like the hidden baseball trick in the baseball game, right? It's a pretty dope one. Yeah. So he ends up going down ice, gets the puck. Nobody's looking at him, and Skiold, look over there, and then they skate down the ice on the other side. The thing that bothered me here, though, the goal is fantastic. Like, this is maybe the best goal I've ever seen in a Mighty Ducks game ever. But the issue is, it's coming from Cooper, right? The kid who is supposed to be the worst person on the Ducks previously, right? He was the worst of the worst on the Ducks. And he's now on a team that's just full of bad people, but he is somehow all of a sudden the best skater in the fucking world. The dude does a triple sow cow. A sow cow, people. Spins around, tip of the stick on the puck, spinning around in circles, and then puts this thing top shelf. I don't know. I don't watch hockey. I just watched the Ducks. And it just didn't seem likely, right? But he then talks trash to somebody else, which was beyond me because, dude, you scored once, act like you've been there, right? But he scores on him, and the team's psyched. Time's run out. I forgot to mention this on the play. There's egregious trippings. The kid who just throws himself into walls, he literally slides into 2 people. the refs just swallow the whistle. For the 15 plus years I've watched Mighty Ducks, I feel like these refs have been swallowing the whistle just a bit much. Like, you're not looking out for the kids? Do you not care about the kids, Pee Wee refs? Got dominated. Not to mention, Cooper, he scores. He's macking on the girl who, again, he has better game than I fucking have. This kid is like, hey, you see that? You check out the goal? Yeah, and I got past you, didn't I? Damn, check me out. And these two fucking cock blocks just stroll on through and bury this kid. And the ref's just like, oh, penalty. The game's fucking over, buddy. Like, they should get suspended. That's assault, brother. That is assault. Ridiculous. And the mom wasn't upset enough about that. She's just like cheering through that. That's her son. That's her baby. I don't know how that works, but that didn't seem right. So yeah, Alex then goes in. Well, we get the scene of like them cheering about scoring one goal, and the Ducks coach is, of course, just being a dickhead, not cool guy at all. Can't say I was a fan of him, and we're not supposed to, I suppose. But I can't wait to see him play it. But Sophie, she is like, they're having fun, and you're criticizing us for letting up one goal in a game we won by 16 of them. Buddy, like, I can't be here anymore. This is terrible. So she goes over to the don't bothers, and she's like, I'm going to bother now. I'm in. Sign me up, coach, but you're the captain, Cooper. C for Cooper. Alex goes and talks to Gordon Bombay from here. And we get kind of the this is the moment I was talking about at the beginning. Like, this is the return of the Bombay, right? This is Ali Bombastic. Not going to work. Probably not going to work. But I had a couple points to make here, because she's just like, I've looked you up. I know how good you are. You're a fucking coach, dude. I know about your whole history. You were a great college coach. And this leads to him finally letting us know why he's so bitter towards the game of hockey. And it's like, I was great. I was the best of the best. I was a great high school coach, or a great, Pee Wee coach, high school coach. And then I was a fantastic college coach. But I got suspended for paying somebody's money, paying for them to be able to afford some supplies. And while I don't have an issue with this happening, like, or him saying this, I kind of wish he had have not said he couldn't afford tape for his stick, right? Because he could have just left it at he couldn't afford anything. It almost seems like bullshit, which I already think it's bullshit, to be completely honest with you. If you're a college coach, don't lie to us, Gordon. I love you to death, buddy. Don't fucking lie to us. You probably pay all your players, right? So it wasn't just the fact that this kid couldn't afford tape for his stick. Like, you don't have something better than that, tape for his stick? Say, like, he couldn't pay for a fucking flight. I know you probably got him a Rolex or something, but don't insult my intelligence, and don't insult Alex's. Sorry, I gotta drink. I drink a lot of water as it is, and now it's like I'm talking up a fucking storm. Last thing I'll say on this, because it was fucking sick. He's like, this is why I'm not in the game anymore. And she's like, dude, we're still here for you, and you've never seemed fucking happier than you are here. Like, in those little brief moments we're seeing, like, you clearly still want to do this, and we want you to be a part of it, and we're going to be here. So whenever you're ready, join up. And we get at the very end of the episode him going up to a sign that says no hockey that we've seen a few times now, and he's removing that sign. And it's symbolism, I suppose, but we know what the next step is. Like, we got our coach back, everybody. We got Gordon Bombay back in a hockey rink, showing some kids what's what. I did want to ask, is there a better nickname out there than the Minnesota Miracle Man, though? It's one of my favorites. I've named a couple fantasy teams it now at this point. The Minnesota Miracle Men hold a special spot. That nickname is fantastic. That's up there with, like, in sports nicknames, it's like the Great Bambino. You got, like, the Truth, the Answer. Who else is out there? Let me know some other ones, but I think the Minnesota Miracle Man, it stands up there with just about any of the best ones. So if you have any other ones you can think of, please let me know out there, but I just can't see it happening. Last thing we got in the episode before I move on to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, these kids are talking to each other at the end of the episode on their iPhones, FaceTiming, with wired headphones. This is 2021. That just wouldn't happen. I hate to point out the things that aren't realistic, but, like, Gordon Bombay definitely paid kids to go to college for him way before some kid couldn't afford, like, tape for a stick. And these kids would for sure have AirPods. I just know for a fact they would. It's not realistic to say they wouldn't. So please, if you haven't checked the show out, check it out. I need some people to talk to about it. If you have, let me know what you think. Do you feel the same way I do? I've been really into it. I think it's great. It's one of the best reboots I've seen, maybe the best. If you've seen something better, or if you just don't like it, I'd love to hear why. So hit us up in the chat, y'all. Please do. Right down there in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking. Next up.
For those with good taste.